Hello YouTube, my name is Plazukas, and this video is going to be on Pragmata. If you watched the YouTube or you've seen the title, essentially, let's just get down to brass tacks. I believe Pragmata will be 2026's Game of the Year. It is currently my Game of the Year, and right beside it or close to it is something like Crimson Desert. But I think Pragmata does things that are truly innovative in this space. I think it's similar to Portal. It's a puzzler, it's a third person, it's a tactics game. It's got so much things that are going to keep people invested and just curious and their brain stimulated that I do think that at the end of the day, critically, commercially, just from a gamer perspective, that this game will be lauded as one of the greatest games of 2026. And I think it will eventually, at the end of the year, once we get to the Jeff Keighley Game of the Awards in December, will basically win over GTA 6 or any of the other contenders that are possibly going to pose competition. And here's why. Ultimately, we've had Dragon Quest Reimagined come out. We have had Pokemon Poketopia. We've had Resident Evil Requiem. We've had Crimson Desert. These are just to name a few. I'm not even going through the whole entire list of Mugenics, all these games that are critically lauded and commercially successful. Like all those games have the potential to be a nominee, have the potential to be game of the year. However, they all share something extremely in common. They've all mostly been done before. Yes, Crimson Desert is innovative in many aspects in the open world, and the system based aspects of Crimson Desert are truly next gen and something to be respected and lauded. GTA 6 is going to be the same thing, and they may do something so revolutionary that there is just no debate on whether they are Game of the Year. Dragon Quest Reimagined, very samey turn-based action or JRPG, but in all respect was a perfectly fine video game. Pokemon Poketopia is basically Lennon from a genre that is cozy gamer, and basically build up a house, build up a a bunch of characters and then just kind of like play around with them. Minecraft style, Animal Crossing style. Nothing new or innovative here. Resident Evil Requiem, unfortunately, it is basically two games in one. And although I do think it will actually be Game of the Year nominee, I just don't think it's going to win. I think that story, I think the gameplay, I think all that is just going to be met with by the end of the year with just like, okay, it was a great Resident Evil game, one of the best Resident Evil games from many aspects. But it definitely could have picked a lane and stuck it. Crimson Desert, I think right now, currently, will not even be a nominee. But by the end of the year, I do think it'll actually get there. I think it will be one of the nominees for Game of the Year. I don't think it has any competition to GTA 6, even with the innovations and all the stuff that I've talked about Crimson Desert in this channel has basically covered for the past 2 months. I really do truly respect that game. However, there is nothing currently that has been actually released this year that comes even close to Pragmata. This game is extremely innovative. This game is extremely clear of what it wants to be and what it is. And what it is Portal meets turn-based meets VAT system meets third person. This game is going to keep you so stimulated, so engaged. It's going to continuously throw new things at you through various different guns you have to pick up, through various different things you're going to have to platform and discover, and like the open world will be like a puzzle in itself. Not to mention the combat is a puzzle in itself. The one thing that's going to hurt Pragmata is the story. In some of the systems, some of the stuff you're going to come up across is going to be very similar, and that might get old, but I don't think it will because of how long it's going to last. But I think the story has probably the biggest chance to bring the entire experience down, but I don't think it will because this is going to be like a daughter daddy thing. And ultimately, I think it's a little bit cringe overall, the story. I think it's going to resonate with enough people. And I do think that this is just going to work. Honestly, I'm not an anime guy. I'm not someone that really likes these daddy daughter, these family oriented like God of War Ragnarok, God of War 2018. Like I'm not like I don't need that in my video game to make me feel connected to the universe. I like Crimson Desert. I like Dark Souls. I like Elden Ring. I can make my own story for me through my gameplay and through my experiences. So for me, it doesn't resonate as much, but I think a lot of people will resonate, and I think that will be enough. And I don't think it'll bring it down. So that's the only thing that's going to actually hurt the game, is that because the game is well made, it does not outstay its welcome visually, performance wise, gameplay wise, all these things are what you want in a video game like this. And Capcom, in my opinion, has a winner. And here's the meat and potatoes of this. Um, you don't need a sequel to Pragmata. You don't need to continue Pragmata. I do think that this gameplay system is extremely fun and could probably benefit from another game. But I think the game you have here is perfectly made for this system, and I don't think unless you do something completely different, it's needed for another thing. So this is going to be like one of those games that exists as a one-off. Hopefully, the team gets to iterate on some of these things because they seem like a very creative developer that has a lot of potential. But I don't want it to be lost on Pragmata 2 because I don't think that's what's necessary specifically with this game. This game is so good, and I cannot wait for you and everyone to play it. You can play the demo now, which does give you an idea, and it would, I think, if you're not into it at all through the demo, then yeah, you could probably skip this. But if you're somewhat curious, or if you're like, this is really fun, then it's only going to get better for you. It's kind of being slept on, but it's only a matter of a couple weeks before this game blows up, sells as much as Resident Evil Requiem, if not the most of any game this year, which is going to be hard to do. But if any game has a way to, if any game has a potential to be viral, and the fact that it's coming to like every platform in existence, Pragmata has that chance. It is my game of the year. Period. Stay tuned. We'll see if anything can eclipse it. Which, spoiler alert, I don't think so. Bye for now.